So in that sense, players can enter whatever year they want. So if you want to put your first tournament as your first as your starting point, or maybe your first top 8, it doesn't matter. Pick whatever you want. But yeah, definitely like a newer player on the rise. Participated in the free agent events in France as well. Beat OG, right? Has beaten OG since. So definitely not a slouch. Let's see what he has to offer in game number 1 and taking it up against Snormanda on Pokemon Stadium 2.
Right, and immediately we see a ton of projectiles coming out. We saw the Holy Water coming out, we saw the Mecha Koopa coming out. Once again, we see Snormanda going for those down airs. We saw that in the previous set as well, Ramses. You weren't a big fan of those, were you?
Yeah, but it's very dependent on the matchup, right? So I hope to see Snormanda really adjusting his play, and at the same time, right, if Noxumbra is not ready to deal, then...
Oh, wow.
Ooh, yikes. Talking about being not ready to deal, Snormanda has been throwing out those preemptive forward smashes a lot, right? We saw it against Siski as well, where he got an early combo and just threw out the forward smash on the ledge immediately, and it worked out, and this, or it didn't work out, but this time it will. Noxumbra a little bit too hungry to get off the ledge aggressively, and Snormanda going to be ready to cover that with the forward smash.
Right, and one thing that could come into play here is that Noxumbra has not played a single game against Snormanda yet, so maybe there's a little bit of matchup inexperience here as well, because that forward smash you need to be aware of at all times. But Noxumbra so far seems to stay calm, gets the Mecha Koopa in his hand, so uses that to get back. The lick does not connect. Noxumbra trying to get out of the corner.
See that rising aerial auto-canceling on the fast fall there. Not going to get punished by Snormanda. The Holy Water was in play, but not going to lead him too much. And now it's a solid lead for Snormanda, really pushing his character's advantages. So far, the up air's coming out, and this is one of the main weakness. It's the offstage game. The double edge guard chase just going all the way out there is Snormanda. What a dominating game 1. Probably the most dominating game 1 that we've seen so far today.
That's insane. That was a 0 to death as well on that third stock, but the second stock felt like a 0 to death as well. Snormanda is showing up big time at this tournament. First in his pool, beating out 2 very strong players, and now in the bracket. He's making a name for himself, man. That Bowser Jr. is not one you want to face.
For sure, man. And I mean, personally, I think like this happens. If you're playing Belmonts, this happens. Sometimes your disadvantage gets pushed, especially if your opponent's good at pushing you off stage, which, Snormanda definitely is, gets those up airs, and then converts those up airs into like a forward air or back air, push you off stage, right? So you, as a Belmont player, you have to accept sometimes, you're running against, and that doesn't mean anything, right? It doesn't need to mean anything. It only means something when you let yourself get, kind of beaten down by situations like that. Instead, Noxumbra, very familiar with the character, knows what he can do, knows, hey, if I can avoid these critical situations, small but critical adjustments, then I will be golden. Let's see, make it come true in this game number. Snormanda finds a jab, pushes Nox into the corner, and this is where it starts, man. From the corner, you get pushed off stage, and when you're off stage, that's where those big swingy situations start occurring. Noxumbra does make it back to the stage time and time again, but he hasn't really made it out of the corner until just now. Is gonna throw out a preemptive up B. Siski showing his influence, so iconic, dude. The preemptive up B. It's all the fashion. It's a trend right now, right?
Right. Yeah, Siski's doing very well, so these players copying it. But yeah, Snormanda a little bit heavy on the trigger happy on the up B button. Noxumbra as well doesn't really get punished for it, but in a bad spot right now, gets jabbed. So the offstage situation continues. Can Noxumbra make it back?
Yeah, he does. Using that tether. The tether is hard to stop, right? So oftentimes, Belmont recovery is pretty subpar, but usually at a point where he has to kind of like double jump back to the stage or up B back to the stage. So if he does not need to do either, or he can like double jump immediately tether, then he's actually not in a bad spot at all, and that's what we saw right there. Noxumbra not as bad off as it would look. Now we see him miss the stage with the double jump back air. Very uncharacteristic gameplay. Usually Nox kind of known for his position, kind of known for how well he can find the next hit. But this time, a little bit of an overextension, and Snormanda's advantage state just so deadly. Look at that, reading the jump,
my lord,
finding the down air, and this is where this is where he recovers, actually. Goes a little bit too low. Snormanda could have gotten a guaranteed hit, but Noxumbra with a smart recovery route, making sure he makes it back.
Alright, this is Noxumbra's advantage state to push, and he pushes it well. The Holy Water into the forward air, angled down, precise, lovely play by Noxumbra, and now he needs to bring it back. Now we've seen what the Belmonts can do. They just need one advantage state and they can really push you out. But Snormanda says, no, here's my forward air. You will not return to the stage, young man.
Exactly, just like that. Snormanda finding the next combo. Snormanda finding his way back to center as well. But this time, Noxumbra ready to pressure, throws up the Holy Cross to, kind of mitigate some of the options that Snormanda would have getting off the platform. Snormanda, though, staying cool, calm, collected, knowing, hey, I can get away with this, I cannot get away with that. Goes for the up tilt, a little bit of a cheeky reset. Not going to lead into much. I do like the idea, though, Snormanda finding some ways to kind of, instead of going for a guaranteed forward smash, instead goes for a little bit less of a guaranteed follow-up with the up tilt, but possibly higher reward. Noxumbra, though, like we said, kind of coming to, kind of rebalancing himself, finding his footing in this game number 2. Talking about finding your footing, is going to go super low and has to throw out the aerial. Tries to get the ledge, but no, sir, a little bit too far out. Got caught on the backdash, right? So he was backdashing, Snormanda chasing him down with the Becker. Now a 2-0 lead, and this could be a quick 2-0. That was, again, like we said, Noxumbra really coming to his own, but was it enough? Not quite.
Yeah, Snormanda is really playing well at this tournament. I can't restate it enough. He has been showing up. The combos have been on point. The punish game has been on point. The neutral has been on point. And Noxumbra not really showing what he can do. I think that he could bring this back, but he needs to play very cleanly and make sure that he doesn't get hit by any combo starters. Let's see if game 3 is any different from the first 2.
Let's see indeed, Nair, as we head into the potential final game of our block. We see the pressure being put on. Snormanda just creeping into Noxumbra's personal space and just kind of hanging out there saying, hey, you don't want to pressure your chain with moves at these ranges, which, very true. Belmont's not known as a close quarter character, but if he does get that nair, if he does get that grab, he can convert quite nicely. Talking about converting quite nicely, the up airs into the forward air, offstage pressure, early up B is going to get called out, and Noxumbra just cannot recover.
Right, and it all started with the awareness of where his Mecha Koopa was. That Mecha Koopa launched him straight into the up air, and after that, the rest is history. Noxumbra's stock was gone in a flash. So great awareness by Snormanda using those little robot Koopas to make the most out of that stock. But now, it's Noxumbra with the ledge trap. Can he do it?
The snipe with the aerial, that is so hard to get, right? Cannot underestimate how much precision is needed to hit these aerials. They're often active for like 1 or 2 frames, extremely thin, and Noxumbra is so precise with them, even getting the right idea, trying to catch Snormanda, double jumping back to the stage, but a little bit off in that situation. And that is the Belmont struggle, right? You can point at the recovery, you can point at the disadvantage and say, hey, this is where Belmont is weak. But a lot of the situations where I feel like Noxumbra kind of goes wrong are the situations where he has the read, goes for the aerial, and it's just like a single pixel off or a single frame off. And that is where Snormanda gets the most mileage. So far, though, these advantage states definitely no slouch in and of themselves. Look at the way he's pressuring Noxumbra. Just no rest for the wicked. Noxumbra has nowhere to go, tries to kind of reset the ledge situation, but Snormanda, staying safe, knows how to cover, knows how to chase. The final hit of the up smash is going to land him the KO, and now Noxumbra needs a miracle or two to get the win in the pocket. Just Snormanda looking like a whole nother level of player right now.
Right, and does get the down air here and does get a single up air. Might have wanted more out of it. Let's see what Noxumbra can do in this advantage state. The air dodge from Snormanda will return him to the platform. Gets the holy water in his hand. Doesn't do anything with it. But the up airs will come through here. Snormanda tacking on a quick 47% and extends his lead. It's like you said, Noxumbra needs a miracle, and it's going to be very hard to make it back, Ramses.
For sure, the dash attack chase, just Snormanda constantly putting on the pressure, and when the heat is on, will your water douse any flames? Not quite. Noxumbra looking for some sort of hit, some sort of conversion, but with that side B, Snormanda just gets out of every disadvantage that Noxumbra puts him in, and the forward tilt can connect, but it's still weak hit. It's not really gonna lean too much. Again, we can see that side B just riding to center stage time and time again. The Rising Fair intercepting Noxumbra's walling. The Rising Fair intercepting Noxumbra's ledge game, and the snipe! The Mega Koopa finds its target. It's like a heat-seeking missile, and that's gonna be Snormanda advancing to the next round.
A very dominant performance from our German player, the German Bowser Jr., Snormanda, showing up. And yeah, I hate to use the word, but really destroying. But here is your MetaView moment. Missed out on the action. Oh, I guess we're...
Continue. Power through.
Okay, missed out on the action. MetaView has got you covered. Catch the best moments from Smash World Tour right after they happen. You can do so on the web or on the MetaView app. Check the chat for a link to the playlist. And now it's time for the MetaView moment.
We're gonna get the MetaView moment ASAP, guys. Stay tuned.